The 1980s were full of bold flavors, bright colors, and some seriously questionable ingredients. From neon-colored drinks to candy packed with banned chemicals, many snacks that once filled lunchboxes and convenience store shelves are now illegal, discontinued, or heavily regulated. Here's a rewind to 20 foods that were totally normal back then, but wouldn't make the cut today. Lead-laced Mexican candy. Back in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't uncommon to find tamarind or chili-covered candies imported from Mexico at flea markets, mom-and-pop stores, or even in your Halloween stash. They were tangy, spicy, and completely addictive. But many of these sweets, like certain batches of Lucas, were found to be contaminated with lead, either in the chili powder or the ink on the packaging. The problem was especially serious for children, whose developing brains are vulnerable to late exposure. Today, these candies are heavily regulated, reformulated, or outright banned in several states. Potassium bromate in bread. If you ever ate a school lunch roll, gas station sandwich, or fast food burger bun in the 1980s, chances are it contained potassium bromate. This dough enhancer helped bread rise higher and stay fluffy longer. Back then, no one questioned it. It was just bread. But later, studies linked potassium bromate to kidney and thyroid tumors in lab animals, prompting countries like the UK, Canada, and most of Europe to ban it outright. The US hasn't fully banned it yet, but many bakeries have voluntarily removed it due to health concerns and consumer pressure. Orbitz drink. This weird, space-age-looking drink hit the tail end of the 80s vibe in the mid-90s, but it was so fitting with the era, it deserves a mention. Orbitz looked like a science experiment, colorful liquid with floating gelatin balls that hovered like they were in zero gravity. Kids loved it for the visuals, not the taste, which was odd. While not technically banned, Orbitz quietly disappeared due to low sales and concerns about the artificial additives and thickeners used to suspend those balls. It became a collector's item for the nostalgic, but your stomach might thank you it's gone. Before we continue, kindly take a moment to hit the subscribe button. Less than 1% of our viewers are subscribed, and by joining the community, you'll encourage us to keep creating videos like this. Thanks for your support. Artificial red dye number 2. If you ate red candy, red velvet cake, or bright red popsicles in the early 80s, you may have consumed red dye number 2. It was widely used in processed foods, until studies in the 70s suggested a link between the dye and tumors in rats. Though banned in 1976, old inventory and imports kept it lingering into the early 80s. After its phase-out, companies pivoted to newer dyes like red number 4, which is still controversial. Red 2 may be gone, but it paved the way for a lot of today's color scrutiny. Kinder Surprise Eggs. Let's talk about the holy grail of contraband candy. Kinder Surprise Eggs, chocolate eggs with a hidden toy inside, were a dream come true for curious kids. But the FDA slammed the door shut on them in the US, thanks to a law that bans non-edible objects embedded in food. The fear? Choking hazards for small children. While totally legal and popular in Europe and elsewhere, Kinder eggs were seized at US borders for decades. You can now buy a safer version, Kinder Joy, in stores, but the original still holds mythical status for many 80s and 90s kids. Shark Bites fruit snacks, original formula. Shark Bites, the fruit snack that made lunchtime an event. Everyone fought over the elusive white shark, and we all thought we were eating fruit. Spoiler alert, we weren't. The original formula was packed with artificial colors, trans fats, gelatin, and high fructose corn syrup. Eventually, due to public pressure and new food labeling laws, companies reformulated these snacks to be healthier. While you can still find Shark Bites in some form, the original version is extinct and sorely missed. McDonald's supersize fries and soda. This was the era when bigger was always better. McDonald's offered supersize meals that could practically feed a family of 4. Giant sodas, mountains of fries, and burgers stacked like Jenga towers were the norm. But by the early 2000s, after the release of Super Size Me and increased concern over obesity and heart disease, McDonald's axed the option. Still, in the 80s, ordering a supersize meal felt like a power move. Today, we just order 2 mediums and pretend it's different. Blue Pepsi and bright-colored sodas. Back in the day, your soda options weren't limited to Coke or Pepsi. You had Crystal Pepsi, Pepsi Blue, Surge, and a rainbow of questionable flavors. These drinks were electric in color thanks to artificial dyes that have since been linked to hyperactivity and behavioral issues in kids. While not all of these sodas were banned, some dyes used at the time have been removed or restricted. Now, soda makers play it safe with more muted colors or use natural alternatives, though the neon glow of the old days will always be iconic. Alar treated apples. In the 80s, alar, or diminozide, was commonly sprayed on apples to help them ripen evenly and look shiny. These were the apples you'd find in school lunches or grocery stores, perfectly red, unnaturally uniform. But by the end of the decade, reports, most notably from 60 Minutes, revealed alar's potential cancer risk, especially in children. The public outcry was swift, and alar was banned from use on food crops in the US by 1989. Today's apples may bruise more easily, but at least they don't come with a side of carcinogens.